and welcome to Battery Waldem. That looks like a sentry post, that obviously been blown up or destroyed, and there's a big bunker there. It's more than likely, until I look at the map, it's probably could be personnel, something like that. The battery was initially an offensive battery to support Operation Sea Lion. This battery was quite a big battery. It had quite a lot of things here. It had 2 M70 gun emplacements with 15cm guns. It's got a fire tower, which is quite unique actually, looking at it. The battery was actually named after one of the local towns called Waldem, and that's where it's got its name from. It has a very tall, unusual fire tower. I think it's about 3-storey actually. But one of the unique features of this is it has a rotating casemate. So let's have a look at it. Now this is an unusual bunker. It's actually what they call a concrete cupola. Now it's one of only 2 that was ever made, and it was made out of concrete, which is unusual because it's usually made out of steel. The actual name for it is called a Drehturm, or a Drehturm in German, that is. Very unique bunker because it can actually rotate 360 degrees. It had a 150mm C28 gun, ranging 37 kilometres or 23 miles. That could reach pretty far across the English Channel, that. The actual cupola itself, the case actually weighs 750 tonne, and it was off a ship, off an old French ship that was sunk, believe it or not, by the British, called the Provence. This casemate, because it can rotate on 360 degrees, it's actually facing inland, which is unusual really, because you'd expect everything to come from the water. But I think it's because, more than likely, it was expecting the Canadian infantry who captured this back in 1944-45. So let's try and get inside this rotating turret and have a look at the mechanism it's using. Now then, was this gun actually blown up inside here to get it out, or... No, it was, yeah, definitely. I think it was blown up to try and get out. I'm surprised. Size of the bolts that were holding the gun in place. And there's a mechanism that would help it rotate. And it's still here if you can see it. Cool. Now I wouldn't be surprised, these slots here, let's have a look if you can see it or not. Oh, I can't see it. Well, there's obviously some kind of, it'd been obvious that some, what do you call it would have been down here, the shells and that. So, I wouldn't be surprised if it was stored under here. Them slots, I'm not quite sure. I'm only assuming that when it's turned, then some mechanism was fit in that slot there, stop it from rotating and moving when it's being fired. I would assume again that this part here was so he could winch the shells up to the gun itself from below. Right, this door here, a metal door. One thing, it may have been a gas lock. I'm not sure. We have a door at the other side there, and the idea is obviously if somebody they want to gas people, then there was less chance of it gassing. What they had to do as well is they had a positive pressure system inside there, so if somebody tried to put gas under the door itself, then the pressure would actually force it back from where it came from, so there's less chance of getting gassed. We have places like this because obviously it's 70 years old and everything's overgrown, so you struggle to get everywhere. So what I think I'll do is I'll send the quad up, have a look for us. Now there's a personnel bunker, and then obviously somebody's named it Rosemary. Let's have a look in here. Oh. This could be a personnel bunker when I think about it. Yeah, it is. I think it is, because these brackets here, I think, at a guess, may have held beds. Same as the hooks in here. Good God, go on.
Said it looks like a toilet block.
Oh right, yeah, it could be. Now you see this casemate, it's obviously facing out to sea, like the other one, the Dredum, the Dreherm is facing inwards. So, as I said before, these couldn't turn anywhere. This all they can do is traverse something like 120 degrees side by side and up and down about 35 degrees with the guns in it. I'll have a look inside anyway. Well, this has definitely been blown up. No front on it. Again, big hooks, whether to winch the gun in and out, I don't know, that, or to winch the shells up so the gun could fire. I'll tell you I love you, eh? Yep, definitely a lot of damage here. Big chunk of it been blown. The wall's been blown. The back here. All right, straight to outside. All right, yeah, cool. That's the way in. There's a machine gun emplacement there. And some vents at the top. Machine gun with the metal plate still in place. I would assume if they draw the gun out, back in, I should say, in the room, and the either no ammunition or it broke, they could slide that across dead quick and stop anybody from trying to get in or to throw a grenade in. Anyway, I hope you like the little video of Waldem. I'd like to have done a bit more, but time's pressing. It's 3 o'clock and we've been on the road since, what time? 7 this morning. And we've not covered nowhere near as much as I wanted to, but that's the way it is. If you do decide to come and visit some of these batteries along the Cali area, then make sure you have some old equipment on that you don't mind getting ruined. A pair of boots, a torch, a camera. The easiest one to get to actually is the Oldenburg one. It's behind the old where the old camp was, you know, the immigrant camp. It's all abandoned now. The date is just before the beginning of May 2017. Easy accessible, nobody seems to bother you. You can go walk around there and it's pretty clear. If you go down to the Waldem battery, it's very, very overgrown. You have to be very careful. If you want to try and have a look inside the rotating turret, then be careful because there's about 2 foot of water. I had to balance myself to get across it. But generally, there's 2 casemates at the end. They're fairly easy to get to part of it, but generally it's overgrown. There's a lot of thorns, and they're about 2 or 3 inches long, and they really are sharp, so just be careful. This site is a nature reserve, and it's usually occupied by, it's a gun club, and for shooting birds, but I think it's out of season at the moment, so I can get around it pretty easy. Nobody's bothered me. A couple of people have come past. The only thing you have to be careful of when you try to come to any of these, especially the Waldem one, is that the roads are really poor, really poor. You're better off with a 4x4, but blinking it, you're going to take your time because it's so bad. We've just been like going 5 miles an hour. It's that bad. But when you get here, if you're an enthusiast like me, come and have a look at them. They're really interesting. And hopefully any video I do for you enlightens you a bit about the Atlantic Wall. What I'm on about, if you decide to come and look at these batteries, especially Waldem.